Well, hello there, Aries. Happy birthday, of course. Um, this is for the month of April. Okay, so let's just jump right in. The elemental card that you got is the Biome, which stands for connection. Now, I personally am a bit of a, I don't know, plant lover, nature lover, horticulturalist, outside geek. Like, there's a number of names that I could probably use to describe or label myself in the terms of how much I love working with the natural world and being enmeshed in the natural world. But this card kind of had me sitting back and thinking a little bit about that, like the depth of that, this thing that we call the natural world. So it's very interesting that this biome card is coming up. So let me explain a couple things here for those of you who are not terribly familiar with you know, the natural systems and lingo and all that jazz. So, a biome is the umbrella that contains an ecosystem, and an ecosystem is the umbrella that contains animals and plants and people and bacteria and all that stuff. Yeah, so with the biome representing connection, Aries, my people, I think that this is saying that for those of you who are not involved in your community, whether that's in, doing like conservation work or just general volunteering, wherever you may do that. If that is something that you are not doing, that is something you want to consider beginning to do this month. Okay. I do feel like there's important lessons for you to learn in this. And it's gonna help you synergize because, like, Aries folks, and of course there's waves of us, right? But Aries folks have literally been going through it pretty much for like the last decade. Okay. I've done my research on this. It was not just me. I had to check because I'm like, really, dude? But really, for about the last decade, in one form, version, or another, those of us with heavy Aries placements have really been getting put through the ringer. Okay, so there's something about having gone through this that has caused many of us to disconnect some, and I can definitely see this in myself. Right. So the answer for those of you that are still at this point where you still feel really disconnected, you haven't been able to reemerge back into society from where you were, the suggestion is to donate your time, because giving of your time is going to help to bring you in balance, okay? Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at your cards. Okay, I've got your first layer of tarot cards out, and Aries. Whew. The cards, just like I said a few short minutes ago, are kind of doubling down and reinforcing on going through a particularly difficult set of energy. I've got 2 9s in this reading. So for some of you, 4 years. For some of you, 9 years. Those are my 2 doubles. Oh, wait, no. 2, 4, and 9. 2, 4, 9. So those numbers may be significant for you in regards to this reading, the path, what I'm talking about here. So I feel like there's been quite a bit of conflict, whether this is 2 years, 4 years, 9 years, that you've been dealing with, and many times that you have felt defeated, right? But there's something to be said about making decisions, right? Choices, decisions. Life is kind of like a chessboard, you know? So, like, I feel like many of you, the spiritual strength wasn't necessarily shown in a matter of you, studying anything spiritually significant per se, or going to church, or picking up a meditation practice, or anything like that. I feel like for a lot of you it was much more subtle, how your spiritual strength came through, which is how you were able to navigate all this conflict and defeat that was popping up over 2 years, 4 years, 9 years. Okay. So your spiritual journey, and I feel like for those of you that haven't really gotten yourself out there yet, that you're gonna find upon talking to other people that you're not alone in going through what you went through, but you're gonna find that your journey, while it may be parallel, does not look the same as many others. Okay. And again, I'm talking 2 years, 4 years, 9 years, depending on where you sit on that spectrum. So one other thing that is interesting, the cards that came up, the 9 of Swords and the World, is that some of you have been basically going through this process alone. Okay. Dealing with the conflict, dealing with the defeat, having to make certain choices and moves in your life. For some of you, this isn't regarding work. Others, it's relationships. Ooh, confirmation there. I thought I'd spare you guys the burp. That's one thing I love about audio. Okay. Um, so anyways, this could be in any area of life. For some of you, it was money. Like I said, some of you, it was relationship. Some of it was work, of course. And, for some of you, your path did look very traditional in terms of what your spiritual strength looked like. For some of you, it was more shown through the moves that you made in your life to supersede the conflict and defeat that you were experiencing. But for others, it really could have been picking up a meditation practice. It could have been, starting to take yoga classes or kickboxing classes or, whatever. I tend to fall in that second group. I picked up the practice of meditation, and spiritual cleansing and stuff on my particular journey. And mine was a long one. I fall in that 9-year category as well. So I get it. Y'all are not alone. Okay. But the one area that I like of your reading that I have some concerns is that some of this may have been instigated by someone else. This would be someone who you viewed as like a a mentor or leader, maybe a guru, someone in an important position of like power in your life, not necessarily everyone's life, but your life. Okay. And I feel like you've been going through all of this and you're going to find out the truth of why you've been going through all this and who is the cause of it. But I want to get into the clarifiers because this is getting a little juicy and we're already at 10 minutes. Okay, so let's look at your clarifiers. Okay, so check this out. Aries. Oh, Aries. Okay, so I decided to clarify the Five of Swords because that's actually what's leading your reading off, right? Um, and you ended up with Temperance and the Page of Pentacles. So, like, this is definitely, I think, referring to those that part of the conflict and defeat they experienced had to do with work, like in the work sector, okay? And wow, I feel like you had to have an inordinate amount of patience in order to navigate through that. So that explains a lot to me as to why um, the spiritual strength card is coming up for you. Okay. Now to get to the part of the reading that you pulled the Ace of Swords and the Three of Wands. So yeah, I feel like for some of you, you've been waiting for a while for those ships to come in and they haven't, and you've just been sitting there, as they say it on the card, suffering in silence, like waiting for it to come out, and it hasn't. The ships haven't come in, and you've got two cards that are speaking to the truth. You're going to find out exactly who has been blocking your progress forward, especially specifically, I want to say, in the work sector. Yeah, I hear X marks the spot. So, Aries, for some of you, it's the volunteering or, getting out into your community, getting out into nature. Some of this just like literally might make you a little bit more psychically sensitive. And as a result, some of you could actually pick up on who, what, when, what this has to do with this truth coming out about something. Okay. Um, wow. Quite a reading, Aries. Holy crap. Yeah, X marks the spot. So, whew. Yeah, that's what I've got for you. Okay, the truth is about to come out over the month of April. So, remain patient. Continue with your spiritual strength. Make sure you get in nature. Invest in your community. And everything's going to come out. Very interesting. Okay, your peace is your power, y'all. I'll see you next time. Bye.